Adjust bevel and install lock. The last step before installing the lock is to adjust the bevel on the lock so that it matches the bevel on the edge of the door, which is typically in the 2 degree to 3 degree range. It is crucial that this step is done correctly because it helps align the lock mechanism with the trim. If it is not done properly, the lock will operate roughly or not at all. To adjust the bevel, loosen the Phillips screws that are located at the top and bottom of the lock body behind the lock front. Care should be taken not to remove the screws. Turning the screws counterclockwise a half turn will be enough to allow the lock front to rotate to match the bevel on the door. Once the bevel on the lock matches the door bevel, tighten the screws so the lock front is held in place. Slip the lock into the door so the bevel can be checked. If the bevel is correct, the distance from the interior face of the lock body to the interior face of the door will match the distance from the exterior face of the door. When the dimensions match up, the lock is square to the door and centered in the cavity. Now that the lock is in the cavity, the pilot holes can be drilled with a Vicks bit or any other self-centering bit. The pilot holes should be the correct diameter. If the pilot is too large, the screws will not hold the lock in place. Small pilot holes can make it easy to strip the head of the screw or break the screw altogether. Once the pilot holes are drilled, the lock can be attached to the door.